Bonnie, how are you doing? Good morning.
I'm very good. How are you today, Rosamund?
Very good, very good,
Excellent. Well,
thanks.
first of all,
Yeah.
things have kind of changed for you since I last saw you when you came to Toronto and we talked about Barney's version.
Oh, right. Oh, good. Yes. No. Now, from a woman in her late 50s to a warrior queen. Is that what you were talking about?
Exactly. And congratulations on your impending motherhood. Very
Oh,
exciting.
thank you, thank you. Yes, that's tremendously exciting. Thank
Yes.
you.
Well, good luck to you. I know you'll. It's amazing. All I can say as a
Yes.
mother
No,
too.
I
So.
can't. I can't wait.
Yes, this Warrior Queen. I got to see the film yesterday, and I have to say, I loved seeing you in this kind of Braveheart type of role. Was this
Oh, it's
like how
funny
much
you
fun
should
was it
say.
for you?
It's funny you should mention Braveheart because that was one of Jonathan Liebesman, our director's, big references for the film. And when we first started talking about it, he said, I want you to watch Braveheart. And I was thinking, okay, he wants me to watch Sophie Marceau. And he was like, no, Mel Gibson. I was like, right.
Well, yeah, because there's that
So
great shot
it's
near the end when
Andromeda.
she's just like roar into, and I just
Yes,
loved seeing
absolutely.
you. Do you feel like this was, a huge change for you, Rosamund? It must have been so amazing to prepare and be able to play a woman of this strength and character.
Well, I'm always looking for women like this. They're harder to find. So often in an action movie, you've got a woman who, is there to scream and be frightened and ultimately be rescued by a man. And so to be a woman who doesn't need rescuing, who can kind of go head to head with the men is very exciting and rewarding. And also she's a great role model for little girls. I feel boys have so many role models and girls have far fewer to choose from. Andromeda it's great. The name Andromeda means she who has bravery in her heart, and I love that. I think you can't get a better role model than that, can you?
No, you definitely can't. And working on something like this, was this I'm not going to say out of your element, but just something that really challenged you. I mean, we're talking CGI and all these things that you had to go. So just take me back to the first day on set when you had to, really be the warrior woman.
Well, the process of transformation started way before the first day of filming, because from about January, we started filming in March, but from January we were all in intensive training because it's a physical transformation that's needed as much as a mental one. These characters have to look like they wield swords, like they're able to do combat with these monsters they're about to face. So we were working intensively with a personal trainer and martial arts expert, which was tremendously exciting. And that was before we were unleashed on the set. And making a movie of this scale is chaos. I mean, it's chaos in the most glorious, wonderful sense. Exactly what you'd expect of a movie about the Greek gods. The vengeful creatures who unleash havoc on the earth. It was a bit like that in some of the huge studio sets that we had.
You were talking about getting into physical shape, but Rosamund, we get to see you in that little leather outfit. That must have been pretty fun.
Well, Gianni Termine, our costume designer, did a fantastic job. Basically Andromeda wears the same kit as the men, really. The men are all wearing a sort of version of a dress with leather armour over the top of it and sandals. Gianni created a costume that isn't in no way, you could never accuse it of being designed to be sexy. It's sort of sexy by default because it's functional and facilitates kind of, fighting movements, I suppose.
Exactly. It worked.
Offers
You look great in
protection
it. Working with somebody like Sam Worthington, who has such an exhilaration and so much passion for these type of films, can you just tell me about working with him?
Well, Sam, for a start, was so passionate about making this film more than the last one, I suppose. He wanted to deliver in a totally new way to the fans of the first film. He wanted more character definition. He wanted there to be emotional struggles between the characters, for it to be a movie about parents and children, people trying to prove themselves, people who felt they were worthless, trying to kind of find their place in the world. There are emotional, personal struggles alongside the physical struggles of doing battle with titans and monsters. And Sam was very instrumental in making sure that happened. He wanted more humour. He was definitely in thorough support of me not being the kind of weak woman along for the ride. Andromeda and Perseus are a good match because, by the time he meets her again, 10 years on after he rescued her from the Kraken, she's commanding an army. She's taken over her country. She's queen of her country, but she's also an army general, respected by her men. And that's, that's very exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And also, you work with some other amazing actors in this film. You've got Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes and even, Toby Kebbell and onwards and Bill Nye. Do you ever get awestruck when you work on a set?
Oh, I think first day on any set is always pretty nerve-wracking, no matter who you're working with, especially when something is, on this scale. And I think one of my first days, I don't know if I was actually working, but, you come upon Liam Neeson dressed as Zeus and Ralph Fiennes as Hades and Danny Huston as Poseidon, and they cut pretty formidable figures. I love all their performances in this film. It's right that you have these sort of starry, godlike actors playing the gods, I think.
It worked. It really did work. I have to ask you quickly just about something upcoming, because you've just finished shooting a film called One Shot with Tom Cruise. Now, talk about awestruck. What was it like working with him and watching him in action?
Oh, well, that was a great privilege, because Tom's the most wonderful man. I adored working with Tom. Because he's an actor. He's a movie star through and through, but he's also a really hard-working actor. He's probably about the most impressive actor I've worked with in terms of his ability to do stunts. Loads of people say they do their own stunts. If Tom Cruise says it, I can vouch for the fact that it's actually true. He also, we were both off book. We knew the whole script before we started filming a frame. We rehearsed probably 3 times a week in his hotel with the director. We read through the whole script, all of us reading all the parts. We really interrogated that script, and it was the way I love to work. I felt incredibly privileged to be part of that film.
Well, we look forward to that, and I just want to congratulate you on your role in Wrath of Titans. I just thought you did an extraordinary job, and I want to see you, fighting more people in more films coming up. Can you promise me that?
Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, no, I got a bit of a taste for it, I have to say. There's a feeling on a battlefield that isn't quite matched anywhere else in life.
Well, you did a terrific job at it. It was really fun to see you in this role. And